Welcome to the Toy Rewind Podcast with your hosts, the Brothers Newland. Now, let's talk toys.
It's me, Michael Newland.
And I'm John.
I totally forgot I was going to tell you when to do that, but it's me, Andrew. And this week we've done it. There's no reason to try to trick you up on years or tell you any information about what might have happened around this release, because we've been talking about it all week on our socials. So hopefully you follow us on those. We'll get to that in a minute. But we are talking about the toy that changed everything. Everything. If you had anything going on in your life, this just changed it. When the Nintendo Entertainment System was released, this is everything. So we're talking about Nintendo this week. It's going to be great, and we have the one person that I've tried to keep off of this podcast as long as I possibly could. But when we started talking about Nintendo, I knew we had to have him on. We've got Clint. Here. He's actually on this side of me, if I can remember, if you're watching us. We've got Clint from the Dorksmen and Geek Together here to talk. So, Clint, introduce yourself.
Well, first of all, thank you for such a prestigious introduction. I'm glad I finally wiggled and fought my way on, but it is a pleasure to be here with the Brothers Newland. Hello, everybody. I'm Collector Clint on Twitter and Instagram, part of the Four Dorksmen, @_Dorksmen, and Geek Together. Same name, Geek_Together on Twitter.
I forgot Four Dorksmen.
Oh, you're wearing your 40. I was going to wear my Toy Rewind shirt, and I'm like, I don't want to be too cheesy, but I'm glad you did, because it looks really good on you. But I love my shirt, too. That's like one of the few red shirts I own. It looks great. So T-Public, by the way, if you want to get a Toy Rewind t-shirt, they're fabulous.
Or a Dorksman or a Geek Together shirt.
Yep.
Go check them out. Yeah.
Geek Together's there, 3 Beers and a Mic. There's tons of great podcasts on there. Anyway, my point is, that's who I am, and it is a pleasure to be here to talk about the toy that changed it all.
Well, we're happy to have you on. I do have a quick question. We're going to get into socials here in a second, John, but I got a question for Clint. What podcast have you not been on now?
Oh, there's been plenty. Don't worry. I still got, like right now, I know the brothers Sully are recording Movie Rewind. Haven't been on that.
Oh, you haven't been on that one? Yeah.
No, I don't. So, there's plenty. Don't worry.
Well, there you go. They are listeners, so maybe this is your way to get on. So,
oh yeah,
I mean, you never know. I mean, it's not like we don't talk to the guys all the time or anything.
No.
So
I'm sorry to miss what they're doing. I like what they're doing. So give them a listen as well.
Yeah, give them a listen. Well, obviously, we'll go through all the podcasts at the end, like we do all the time. So
sure.
All right, John. If somebody wanted to follow us, how could they do that?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Oh, wait. No, I do know. Sorry. You can check us out on our website, toyrewindpodcast.com. You can email us at toyrewindpodcast@gmail.com. Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch are all Toy Rewind Pod. And then you got our Facebook group and our YouTube, which is Toy Rewind Podcast. You can look us up on those. We do stream our toy box showcases when we have them to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. As always, with a lot of us, we have our podcast bingo, podcastbingo.com/Toy Rewind. And then I guess we have some news for a collector showcase possibly coming up or something.
Yeah, we're working on details to get the collector showcase. It will either be this Monday or the following Monday. I'm trying to finalize a few things.
Very cool.
And make sure that your guys' schedules work with that. And then back to talk about the toy box showcases. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen these
No.
Ekis. They're like little tiki. They're little tikis. I've got a Batman somewhere behind me. Who knows where he's at?
Love the shelves. Love
and so I've got all the turtles. Actually, I'm waiting for 2. Once I have those, we will do an unboxing. And we're going to take a look at all of them. So 4 turtles, Shredder, Splinter, and a special Michelangelo that's a black and white version. So that's going to be coming. So if you want to know anything about that, follow us on those socials, because that's how we're going to tell you. We don't plan the toy box showcases; they just happen. Like literally, I messaged them, or they'll message me and be like, "Hey, who can do one? Who can do what? Can we do something? Let's do
Is
something.
anyone available at this time?
Yeah. So actually, my message a lot of times is anybody home.
Yeah.
So
Right.
so yeah, just get on that and follow us. That way you know what's going on. All right. So now, like I said, for the Monday Collector Showcase, follow us. Like I said, it'll either be this Monday or the following. Just trying to get a few things lined up, but we will be back trying to get those a little more regular. But we are going to be it's inconsistent because we are doing groups of them, kind of like a little series. So, and then we'll take a little break and then we'll come back and do a little series. So, yeah, that's how that's working. So, be prepared for that. All right. Our fun for all question. We're just going to jump right into this. Sometimes we do fun for all questions where we like to talk about different things that are happening, or different like lines, different little questions that we have, just lots of fun stuff. Or this one, we're staying completely on topic. So trying not to do the Dorksmen thing and get off topic right off early. So
that's what we're known for.
Definitely. So this week, our fun for all question, and we actually, while you guys are going through this, I got to pull up. I meant to try to do this on Twitter. We actually asked this like 7 different times this week in the last 2 days. We're going to read off some of your responses that you've got. I know Clint actually pushed some out this week on social. And so the question, what are your top 5 NES games? And I know this is hard because I think I sent you guys a number. Was it 702 or 705 games?
It was over 700.
It's 700 plus. So, I mean, to limit that down to 5. 706 could be a little difficult. So, Clint, as our guest, we're going to let you go first.
All right. Sounds good. Well, thank you. First of all, you said it. It's hard to pick. And, but the thing is, I think I have a very solidified top 10. It's just a little wavering from there. So I actually made a list 2 years ago, dug it up, and it still holds truth. So I'm going to go through them 5 up to 1. Again, don't hold me to these. So number 5 is Metroid. I thought that game was awesome. At the time, it actually still kind of holds up if you go back and play it now. It's it's Nintendo hard. It takes a long time to get through. So definitely had that up there. Mega Man 3. I had to pick a Mega Man. I mean, Mega Man's awesome. 3 just the one where we first had sliding, first had Proto Man. And so I think it's the first one I ever actually got all the way through before going back and playing them. So that's the one I was going to pick that one. Number 3 is kind of my dark horse pick, and nobody ever seems to know what this is, but it's called Star Tropics. And it's a very Andrew's face explains it all right there.
Let's do the same thing.
So fair enough. So Star Tropics, the way I describe it is it's like Zelda meets I don't know what else it meets, but it's a very Zelda-like game, and it's about this character named Mike who goes to these different islands to rescue his uncle, and he has to fight monsters and aliens and everything else along the way. And his weapons are like a yo-yo and a boomerang, and it's really neat how they did it. It was actually a ton of fun, and I loved it. I've played it more than once. I played it as an adult again. I have the second one, which isn't as good, but still fun. And it's Nintendo first party, however you say that. It's their game. It's not like somebody else did it and put it on the Nintendo. It's Nintendo's game. So if you're ever looking for something new to play on the NES, Star Tropics is amazing.
Sounds pretty good. Yeah.
Okay. I loved it. Okay. By the way, the one thing you had to do is to enter a secret code. You had to put the instruction in the booklet in water to have the code appear. It was pretty cool how they did that. But anyway,
Nice.
Days before Google, right?
Yeah.
Number 2 is kind of its predecessor, the original Legend of Zelda. Just love that game. Again, another one that kind of still holds up, even though the graphics are horrible in comparison to where they are today. But
Okay.
gameplay is still there for sure.
I'll let that pass.
Oh, I still play it. In fact, I love when Ryan, Asian Tony Stark, still plays it.
Yeah.
So
I love watching his stream when he plays. So okay,
exactly.
Number one.
If anybody listens to Dorksman, you're gonna be very surprised to hear this. It's Punch Out. Absolutely, still today, love this game. Love the series. Love all of them. And it's more of a puzzle game than a sports game, but it's a fun game nonetheless.
It is. Yeah. All right, Michael.
All right, mine. Start number 5. It was RBI baseball, and I'm a big baseball fan, so I really enjoyed playing that one. Another one that I think every weekend we went and rented a game here and there, and it was always DuckTales.
Yes,
we rented that we went to Blockbuster, rented that one out for we did that for quite a while before we actually bought the game. I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
But DuckTales, and then the Super Mario Brothers is number 3 for me.
The original?
Wait, the original or 3? Okay.
The first one.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's number 3 for me. And then Super Mario Brothers 3 would be number 2.
Okay.
And then of course everybody, I think we all got the same number 1, but Legend of Zelda
Probably
would be top on that on my list. I mean, I love the puzzle aspects of it.
Absolutely.
Stuff like that. That's what it kind of gets you thinking. It's not just a video game, but you actually have to think about things, how you do some of the stuff. So
right.
Yeah.
Right.
John.
That's number 1 for me.
So all but one were mentioned by Michael. But the funny thing is our top 3 are identical, 3, 2, 1. So my number 5 is DuckTales. Number 4 would be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Wait,
the
first
the
one?
arcade game?
The
second
original
one?
one.
No, he's
Wow,
talking about the
really?
original.
Yes, I like the original one.
Okay.
I'm not so much with the arcade one. I like the original.
Cool.
All about that one. We'll get into more of that later on. Number 3 was Super Mario Brothers Originals. Number 2 was Super Mario Brothers 3. And then number 1 is Legend of Zelda.
All right. So you're right. Your top 3 match. There's a lot of duplicates that are going on in here. It's like we all grew up in the same house and had the same games. This is the kicker, though. Mine's going to be in a weird. It's going to be a little interesting. So number 5 is Mario 3 for me.
Okay.
I love that game. It's great, but it comes to number 5. Number 4 is TMNT, the arcade game.
Makes
Number
sense.
3 is TMNT, the original.
Right.
Number 2 is DuckTales. And number 1 is The Adventures of Link. No,
Really, the second Zelda?
I'm just completely kidding. I'm completely kidding.
I was going to be shocked.
It's the event or
Legend of Zelda.
it's Zelda, the Legend of Zelda. I can't even think what it is now. Yeah, Legend of Zelda. Just that one, I don't know what it is. It started. I tweeted about it today. We all played it. It was great. I like the fact that we all 3 played through it and helped each other.
That's cool.
I was
going to ask how you guys did that on a 1-player game with 3 of you, but okay.
Yeah. No. We
Well,
all
usually-
played through it and just helped. You know.
Yeah, we would all sit there and the maps. I think we had
We made
map
our
out of
own
the
map.
deal. We made our
we
own
We
map.
made our own map.
And
We
Wow.
had the graph paper, and we would, everything's a square, so you could draw each little scene on that graph paper, and you put it all together. We had this big whole map of the whole.
Yeah.
Please
whole
tell
thing.
me you still have that somewhere.
Oh no, it's.
I
Oh,
wish.
I don't think so.
wish.
That would've
I don't-
been so
I don't know
cool.
if I still have it or not.
I was
I
gonna
mean,
say,
if anybody
Michael
would
would be the
Michael.
one who had it if he
if
had
you
it.
ever come across it, please
I'll
share
have
it.
to-
I would love to see it.
I'd have to dig into my closet and see if I still do. I kind of think I'd have something, but I don't remember.
I feel like maybe part of it. Maybe I don't know. This is obviously before the Zelda books and all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Before anything, right?
Yeah. So, all right, let's go through some of the answers that we got from people. Just some of the games that pop up. These are Larry's Nerd and Cheese from STS guys, in no particular order because he didn't order these. The Legend of Zelda, Super Mario Brothers 3, Super Mario Brothers, Tech Mobile or Super Bowl, SNK baseball stars. So I don't know which one that one is. Do you know which one that one is, Michael?
Not off the top of my head. I know there's several different baseball games.
Yeah.
I gravitated toward the RBI.
Yeah.
series.
RBI was fun. That was a good
Yeah.
choice. Yeah.
Okay.
I can see why.
So Prague from Secondary Heroes, you've got SMB2, Teenage Mutant. Sorry, he put THNT, the arcade game, and it confused me for a minute, but it is TMNT,
It is,
the
yes.
arcade game. SMB, Little Nemo Adventures in Slumberland, and SMB3. So Super Mario Brothers 3 is first. He's got Super Mario Brothers 2 on there. That makes me proud that it made that list.
It's a cool
Yeah,
game. I think that's one that just got
It's
Yeah.
different.
It's definitely different. That's why I liked it. To be honest,
Just like
it's kinda
Link
like
is different.
Link, it's
from
completely different
Zelda.
from a lot of it.
Yep.
Just the Adventures of Link didn't work the way that Super Mario
No.
Brothers 3 did.
Yeah.
No, but I did like that he had Little Nemo in there. If you've ever played that game, I remember being a lot of fun and just being kind of, I don't know if we were just like the age or what, but it was kind of underground or unknown.
Right.
Another fun win for sure.
Here's Damien's from Geek Together, obviously. Battle of Olympus, River City Ransom, Contra. There's another great one. And then Super Mario Brothers 3, and then the original Super Mario Brothers. So that's a solid list there. And then here's Ed's Butt Wasted. We wrote them backwards. Skate or Die. So happy this made a list. It probably would have been a top 10 for me, but I'm glad it made a number 5. Dr. Mario, WWF WrestleMania, California Games, and Iron Sword Dragon Warrior 2. Another thing I like about Ed's list, none of our games were on it.
Nope. But I know what those games are.
Oh yeah. They definitely would have been up in the top. But I mean, when you got 700 games to pick from, it's just hard to pick. So there's a lot of people that left. So I'm sorry if I left anybody off. Go check it out. Tweet us. Tweet Clint. I don't care who you tweet. Tell us what your top 5 are. There's lots of other things. I shared DuckTales yesterday. I shared Zelda today. I'll probably share another one tomorrow. It's all leading up to Mario, like quintessential Mario. So just be prepared for that. All right. Where are we at? Okay. So that's our top. That's our 5 for everybody. I think that's a great podcast. We just end there. I mean,
you might be right.
All right. It is time for our toy talk. So here's where we get our history lesson from Michael. Yep. And this is a great history. I know we've talked a little bit about Nintendo's beginnings, and we're going to skip forward some of that and get into their digital age of things. So, Michael, take it off.
So we're gonna start off in 1983. So taking inspiration from ColecoVision, Nintendo began creating a new video game console that would incorporate a ROM cartridge format for video games, as well as a central processing unit and physics processing unit. The Family Computer, or Famicom, was released in Japan in 1983, along with 3 games adapted from their original arcade versions. It was Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong Jr., and then a Popeye game, and was very successful in 1984 in Japan.
That's another game I'm surprised didn't hit anybody's list, was Donkey Kong, by the way.
Yeah. I know more of it playing the arcade game, so instead of the system. So in the early 1980s, there were several other video game consoles that grew in the U.S., as well as low-quality games produced by third-party developers, which oversaturated the market and led to the video game crash of 1983. A lot of this was Atari. That's the biggest thing that came out of that.
And that's exactly why I don't mention that Atari is the game changer, by the way. It was Nintendo.
Makes sense. Yeah,
it does. So then after the video game crash in 1983, many American retailers considered video games a passing fad. So they just kind of said it's done with, whatever, we'll move on to something else. So Nintendo product designer Lance Barr retooled the Famicom console, and to avoid the stigma of video game consoles, Nintendo issued a pre-release marketing with the name Nintendo Advanced Video System. Now, this was when they're trying to bring it from Japan over into the U.S. So it was the Nintendo Advanced Video System, which included a keyboard, a cassette data recorder.
Oh, wow.
A basic interpreter software cartridge. The AVS also included a variety of computer-styled input devices, such as gamepads, handheld joystick, a 3-octave musical keyboard, and it had a zapper light gun, which could actually be straightened out to make like a wand with it as well. So,
okay.
Let's see.
For the Wizard games?
That's
right. All the Harry Potter had come out, right?
Yeah. The AVS uses a wireless infrared interface for all its peripherals. So nothing was wired; it was all wireless for this system. So the AVS was showcased at the January 1985 Consumer Electronics Show. The attendees acknowledged the advanced technology, but responded poorly to the keyboard and wireless functionality. Still wary of the video game crash, distributors did not apply, and retailers did not place any orders for this. So,
wow.
So the system that came out nobody even wanted to do anything with it because they still thought it was still just a fad, and it would just be just a money pit. They weren't making any money off of it. So
saying that now is just insane.
Yeah,
I know.
it is. Yeah. So yeah, going through this history of it, a lot of this surprised me. It's just a lot of this stuff that I didn't know nothing about. So.
Right. Well, I mean, we were all, single digit age then.
Yeah,
So.
we all knew it, but we didn't know the backstory. So, although the Famicom was a success in Japan, the American video game press was skeptical that the AVS could have any success in North America. So, at the June 1985 Consumer Electronics Show, so 6 months later, Nintendo returned with a stripped down and cost-reduced redesign of the AVS, having abandoned the home computer approach. So that's what they were going for with all that other stuff. So,
right.
Yeah.
So Nintendo purposefully designed the system so as not to resemble a video game console and would avoid terms associated with the game console, such as game packs, which were the cartridges. They said control deck for the console, and then entertainment system for the whole platform. So it was renamed the Nintendo Entertainment System, which is what we know of now. Using another approach to the market, to market the system to North America retailers as an entertainment system, Nintendo positioned the NES more squarely as a toy, emphasizing the zapper light gun, and more significantly, Rob, which is robotic operating buddy.
Yeah. You remember
was
Rob?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
I remember he never worked, but I remember him.
He didn't do too well. So he's a wireless toy robot that responds to special screen flashes. Although Rob successfully drew a stream of retailers to their booth in that June show, they were still unwilling to sign up to distribute the console. So they were still having issues getting their confidence in the system for retailers to pick it up.
And I guess this is coming after that crash. So, I mean, I guess that makes sense. Like they were just a little worried about it. It's something that's new. You don't know what's going to happen. And it kind of reminds me of what's going on with the collectors stuff now with I can't even think of what the acronym is now. It completely left my head. The non-fungible
NFT.
Tokens. NFTs.
Yeah,
It's kind of like that. Like people were questioning it. So, it's interesting.
So, in a show of strength and confidence by a company that rejects positions of weakness, an intense direct campaign ensued by a 12-person Nintendo SWAT team. So they had 12 of their top people in the U.S. Formed this team. So, having failed to secure a retail distributor, the team would deliver the NES debut itself. So they went through and did all this, the marketing and all that stuff themselves. This began a series of limited test market launches at various metropolitan American cities prior to nationwide release. So, with Rob's reclassification of the NES as a toy, telemarketing and shopping mall demonstrations, and a risk-free proposition to retailers, did Nintendo secure enough retail support of about 500 retailers in the New York and New Jersey area.
Wow.
As the toy retail leader and key to New York, the biggest and most important site was a 15 square foot area at FAO Schwartz. This had a dozen playable NES displays surrounding another giant television featuring baseball being played by real Major League Baseball players who also signed autographs in order to anchor the curious audiences to familiar American pastime among all the surreal fantasy games.
I feel like somebody maybe tweeted about this earlier today.
Yeah, someone teased us for sure.
Yeah, so that's where Major League Baseball players helped put this thing on the map.
Do you by chance have any specific players that did that?
No, I didn't see any names. I would think more it was some Mets players or Yankees players being from New York.
Sure.
But
interesting. Wow.
I didn't get any actual names.
Still very cool.
But that I saw that, and I thought that was pretty neat. So So that's the original baseball game. They had it up with them playing it, which brought the people in to see all the other games that they had. So it was pretty cool.
That's pretty good.
Pretty cool marketing decision there. Yeah,
I love that.
So
that's so cool.
I think we should take that and do that more often. Like have Batman or Turtles come and play the games that they're in.
Yeah,
so that people have some person come in dressed as Zelda.
Well, I mean, they have that Nintendo New York store, and they do stuff like that all the time.
I need to go. That would be.
It's fun. It's a cool. It's a neat place to see for like 15 minutes. Unless there's something going on there, it's not that exciting to be honest.
So it's like the M&M store in Vegas.
Yes. Yeah. It kind of. Well, I guess in a sense, but I feel like there's at least more fun, exclusive or newer things there than there are at the M&M store. There's only so many things you can do with M&Ms. You know what I mean?
Right.
But ask Karen about that when she went to the Nintendo store up there.
I've gone twice. It's a cool place. Okay. I like if I go to New York, I have to go. It's right next to Rockefeller Center, so it's right near NBC or the Tree for their holidays or whatever the case is. But it's 2 stories. It has some cool stuff. They switch it out every time I've gone. It was different, and it was only like 3 months apart. And like they had the history of the whole thing once, and the other time the Yarn Yoshi game for the Wii U was out, so they had a whole display and stuff going on with that. So they still do that kind of stuff, but not to the extent they did for this baseball display, and just sounds like a service merchandise or something. Yeah. To age it. Very cool. I'm sorry to interrupt. Very cool.
That's a
cool idea.
No, it's still good.
And LGN did something similar. When they went to the toy fair, the New York Toy Fair, to introduce their line of figures, they had a whole wrestling ring set up to showcase their guys, and they had professional wrestlers, WWF wrestlers there doing that. So it's kind of similar.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So in a huge gamble, Nintendo offered to handle all store setup and marketing, and retailers would pay nothing up front, and after 90 days would either pay for the merchandise or return it back to Nintendo. At Nintendo's unprecedented offer of risk absorption, retailers signed up one by one, kind of saying it's your funeral if it works or not. So they were still skeptic, but since Nintendo was offering their money back guarantee after 90 days, they started doing it. So
it's confidence right there, right?
Yeah, it's building their confidence there. So the Nintendo Entertainment System consisted of the deluxe set. This is an initial library of about 16 games. Each deluxe set consisted of the control deck console, 2 game pads, Rob the robot, the Zapper light gun, and the game packs of Gyromite and Duck Hunt. That's what all came in.
Duck Hunt.
And the 16 games were 10-Yard Fight, Baseball, Clue Land, Duck Hunt, Excite Bike, which is another good one I like. Golf, Gyromite, Hogan's Alley, Ice Climber, Kung Fu, Pinball, Soccer, Stack Up, Tennis, Wild Gunman, and Wrecking Crew. So those are the 16 games. Yeah.
I did like just on those original. I think all of them had that original same box art for them too, which is so cool. I like that they did that.
I remember Hogan's Alley. So.
Oh yeah.
Just a shout out to Excite Bike. That is my top 2 track on the Mario Kart.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's my favorite. I totally get it. Yep.
I love
Agreed.
That
I do too.
So the first test launch was in New York City on October 18th, 1985, with an initial shipment of 100,000 units is what they sent for this.
How much did those sell for?
The initial price on those is $249.
That's 80s money, by the way. So, yeah,
that's 80s money.
We're about to do the math. You keep going, Michael. I'll tell you when I have the math done.
So the SWAT team they did face some hostility from people. I know this has come up here recently. I know a couple other podcasts have brought this up, but they did face some hostility from people who resented any Japanese influenced company. So they did have some issues with that. And there's still, even in today's time, there's issues on that. So
wait, okay, just step back. How much did you say it was again?
$249.
$249.
Anybody want to take a guess as to
it's
how much
like it's all. I bet you it's like $399 today.
$1,200.
Oh wait, hold on. No, I gotta fix my math. I had the right.
$1,200. Damn.
had the wrong year.
Is that a Nate thing?
Okay.
Brander can't do math.
No. I had it calculating to.
Thanks for that shout out.
1885. Yeah, I had it at
Either way.
1885. So it's $608.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jeez.
So for all of you people that are looking to buy a PlayStation 5 or a Xbox, whatever number they are on now, and spending that $500, it doesn't really seem like things have changed much, to be honest.
Which is crazy if you think about it. But yes.
I mean,
Wow.
yes, the price was different, but the inflation makes it, all the same.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for buying mine.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mom and Dad.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mom and Dad. I mean, that's only $200 a kid for us.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it was 300 for us, but still, thank you.
So this team that they put together, they worked 7 days a week from crack of dawn to the end of the day, all the way from October 18th all the way up to Christmas Eve in 1985, just to push these here. So it was just every day for 9 weeks is what it was. So sales were not high enough, weren't high, but they were encouraging. But Nintendo eventually said they sold nearly 90,000 units during that 9 weeks. So they nearly sold. No, they were about 10,000 short of selling all of them in 9 weeks. So
that's not bad at all.
Yeah, considering
the price. Yeah.
Right. Well, everything. Right.
Yeah. So January 1986, Nintendo had an independent research survey of 200 NES owners, showing that the most popular reason for buying the NES was because children wanted Rob, that robot. And it was followed most strongly by good graphics, variety of games, and the uniqueness and newness of the NES package. So, I mean, back then, the good graphics part, it was better than Atari. So.
Oh, absolutely. It's just funny. You use the term good graphics today, and you have to laugh when you hear that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Rob is credited as the primary factor in building initial support for the NES in North America, but the accessory itself was not well received for the entertainment value. Its original Famicom counterpart from Japan was already failing over there in Japan at the time that North America was launched with the system, so it was already phasing itself out. So the nationwide launch in 1986, the NES was available in 2 different packages. The fully featured deluxe set for $249, what we just said, and then a scaled down control deck package, which included the console, 2 game pads, and Super Mario Brothers, and that was it.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
Los Angeles was added as a second test market in February '86, followed by Chicago, San Francisco, and then 12 other U.S. markets, then nationwide by September of 1986.
And how much was that one when it went nationwide?
I didn't see the price for that scaled down one.
I think based off of what you said, because you said Duck Hunt was part of that too, right? Because that was that Mario Duck Hunt game, right?
No, the original was just Mario Brothers.
It was just Mario Brothers. Okay, so the one I know the research that I did, the one that had Duck Hunt added to it, and so also came with a game with the gun was $149.99.
Right.
Yep.
So that's the package we got.
That's the package we got.
Yeah. Because we didn't get it till it was probably out a year and a half by the time we got it. I think it was what me and John
here we
go. About probably 87.
This makes me feel a little better. That's only $366 in today's money. So still, thanks to Mom and Dad.
Geez. Yeah, thank you, Mom and Dad. Seriously.
Right? It's not the $600.
Andrew, do you have that picture?
The Christmas picture of us with it in the background
Somewhere.
I was trying to remember what year. I think it was 87, I believe.
87 was probably, I think that's when we got ours too.
One of us does, or Mom and Dad still have it.
Yeah, I can look and see if I just got a new phone today, so I don't know if I have it on my phone or if it's somewhere on the computer. So if we do, we will make sure we share that out with this, obviously.
Yeah. Couple other things real quick on the note on this history. When they got going in 86, Nintendo obtained a distribution deal with Worlds of Wonder, which levered its popular Teddy Ruxpin and laser tag products to solicit more stores to carry the NES. So they said, carry NES or you're not going to get Teddy Ruxpin or laser tag. Pretty much how they said it. So
wow.
So
because I remember Teddy Ruxpin was just huge.
That was huge back then. Yeah,
right.
So the largest retailer, Sears, sold it through their Christmas catalog, and then the second largest retail, Kmart, sold it in 700 stores.
What is
aging
Kmart?
ourselves. Yeah.
What is Sears?
Who opens through these days?
Now Sears and Kmart, we don't have either one now. So.
They're just defunct. Yeah. I mean, the Sears here in Tyler is now a Dick's Sporting Goods. So
yeah. They tore the whole thing down and restructured the whole building, and made it into that.
I wonder if we still have a Sears.
It was a Sears. It was a Sears when I moved to Denver. When I moved back, it was a Dick's Sporting Goods. So
wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
So, yep. All right. So Nintendo sold 1.1 million consoles in 1986.
A little higher.
So debunking what the got retailers and said it was a fad. They ended up selling 1.1 million.
That's a fad if I've ever seen it.
The estimating they would have sold 1.4 million had the inventory held out. So they ran out of inventory before they could sell even more. So
this is like they do today when they release a console and you got to pre-order it and fight everybody else for it. And
right.
All right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Thanks, Nintendo. Apparently you started that fad.
Yeah. So
on purpose or not.
they earned $310 million of sales out of 430 million in 1986. So they had 310 million, and everybody else in the game console section had 120,000, 120 million. So wow. I mean, they pretty much doubled what everybody else had. So
that's nuts.
Gosh.
And like I said, the rest is history after that. So,
I'm telling you, it's all of it. And Nintendo changed everything. Atari screwed everything up, and Nintendo came in with their Superman cape or Batman cape, whatever you want to call it, and said, "I got this. Hold my beer."
But can you imagine? Going back to the AVS, which is fascinating history? I'm really glad you went over that. Yeah. Can you imagine if that caught on where we'd be today? Just thinking about it'd be totally different.
Instead of having your Xbox or your PlayStation, everybody would have the home computers and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
it would be
crazy.
Totally different if it did catch on.
Yeah. It'd be nuts. I'd love to see a picture of that. I need to go find that because that'd be real interesting to see.
All right, so we've talked about a lot of the games because we went through our top fives and everything. Mm-hmm. 706 different games that released throughout the years, and I know there's a lot of talk about how much games cost now. So I looked this up, and games you could get a discounted game for about $10, and this is probably why we rented DuckTales 2 or 3 times before we actually bought it. And just a little shout out, we rented that from Blockbuster.
Yeah.
So, if anybody's listening and knows what Blockbuster is, that we rented it from Blockbuster. So you can get a discounted game for about $10, or you can get the new games when they're released about $60. So
they were $60 in 80s money?
$60. Yeah. Well, yeah, in 80s money. So there was an average. The average that I found was about 40.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
They released at 60, but they only sat there for a couple weeks before they started to drop down.
Right. See, Mom and Dad they were definitely, if we wanted a new game, they were like, well, you need to see if you like the game before we buy it.
Which is smart.
So Blockbuster was a big deal. We went and we rented games, and if we didn't like it, we never got it again. DuckTales, multiple times rented. Yeah. So I think they finally gave in and we're like, we're just going to buy it.
Yeah.
So, wow.
So what are we looking at?
This is your AVS here. Yeah, that's your tape deck there to the left. You got your two controllers underneath, your joystick to the right, and then right underneath the joystick is your zapper gun / wand.
This is
wow.
Definitely.
Look at that thing.
What do you need the tape deck for? I didn't get.
Well, that's how the cartridges
data
work.
Recorder.
Yeah. A lot of. If I know we had an Apple or something like that, and it had, in order to play some games and stuff, it was like on a tape deck, and you would put it in.
You had to listen. Yeah.
Holy cow! Look at it. That thing just looks. That's an eyesore to be anything. But
okay, so all right. I'm going to try to explain what this is because we're on an audio podcast. Unless you're watching,
right.
Yeah. Explain it.
I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. Okay, so you've got the colors from the classic Nintendo. You've got the gray, and it looks like the bottom part of it. It's hard to tell because it could just be shadow. Looks like it's even the darker gray.
It's a darker gray because I was reading over that as well. So it's the lighter gray on top, darker gray on the bottom, and the bottom part kind of tapers down to a smaller footprint than the top part is.
Sure.
So the tape deck is just a tape deck. Looks like the normal tape recorder, except it's these colors, and you can't see the tape that's going to play in there. You've got your record, play, all those things. It's got the Nintendo branding. It even has the black bar. I love the fact that it has the black bar. They kept all of this style when they designed the new one. The biggest part of this is this keyboard that hooks up to your TV, obviously. That keyboard hurts my fingers to even think about it.
Oh my God, right?
For somebody who spends all day on a keyboard, no, this is not happening. The biggest change, obviously, they dropped the joystick, and the gun blaster wand thing went through a big change. But these controllers, they look like VHS tapes, small VHS tapes.
Oh, you're right. They do. All the buttons are very square. The D-pad's square. It's crazy.
So look that up if you're interested about this yet. Michael, you've got access to our socials. Tweet this out. Put this out there because this is ridiculous.
It looks like the start and select button were above the other two buttons instead of in the center.
In the middle. Yeah.
And then instead of your cross pad, it's just a square.
A square with arrows. You just kind of press it whichever way.
Whichever way you want it.
Your A or B button are squares instead of round buttons. Yeah.
You guys need to share this on your social.
I can
do that.
I can honestly tell you if that's where we're at, I don't know if I'd be a gamer because that just hurts me.
Right. So maybe we need to thank the retailers for passing on that.
Yeah. Thanks for passing on that one and giving us the amazing Nintendo Entertainment System that we did get. So
very cool.
All right, now I want to talk about. Obviously, we had one. Clint, you've probably had one. I mean, honestly, we've had multiple ones because I still have my original one here. You've got your original. Yep. John, I gave you a box of stuff when I moved back down here, and I believe was there not two in there?
I think there's only one.
So I may still have a box somewhere that has one in it because at one point I had two.
You mean you might have the actual working one?
Maybe. I don't
remember.
We all got to use working in parentheses, by the way.
So we all had it. We got ours for Christmas. I was young. I still remember it. I don't remember vividly, but I still remember it. We got ours for Christmas. But there are some things that I do specifically remember. I never played Mario, really. I was always.
I only got to play Mario when I played with you.
Yeah, so that was part of it. Like I was just never Mario unless you guys weren't at home.
Yeah,
which we were always there. Didn't have it. I think we did a really good job. Mom and Dad did a really good job.
I was always
how to share. Right. Mom and Dad did a really good job at teaching us how to share. We did a really good job at sharing it. Nobody ever really got too much time on ours.
I'm still impressed how you guys handled Zelda. Like that still boggles my mind.
I think that, and we do the same thing now. Like we help each other on if we see something or we play. Sure. Like we're always. Shout out to Mom and Dad about the way we were raised. And then I was going somewhere with this, and I lost my.
Oh, I'm sorry, I ruined it.
No. I think I was losing it anyways.
You're talking about you guys had
Clint,
three.
Tell us about you're on this side. I keep forgetting on this side. Tell us about your you growing up with it.
Sure.
Give some stories.
So I remember the first time I played the NES was at my friend's house. I don't talk to this guy anymore. You know, we were young, obviously.
So it's not one of the Dorksmen. Okay.
It wasn't. No, it was not one of the Dorksmen. I think I hope the guy's doing well, whoever he is. But he was one of those kids that kind of got everything first. You know what I mean? A spoiled kid. And I remember going over there. And I remember Rob. I remember seeing he was so cool. And they're like, "Oh, watch, he works with this game." And then he didn't do anything. So. He really worked out great, but I remember just seeing it, loving it there. I remember playing Tetris at his house. We thought the idea was to make cool designs, and we never did very well. But
I was always better at Tetris on the Game Boy than I was.
That's almost the only place you could play it, really. But anyway, I loved it, and my parents took note, and they got me one. And my little brother wasn't born yet, so it's just me in 1987 for Easter's of all holidays. And I mean, it was great. I played, like I said, played the hell out of it. My brother played the hell out of it. Somehow we still have it. But that, and that's when I started Mario and Duck Hunt. You know, I didn't really even think about him until then. And yeah, it's, all as history would say, pretty cool. Since then,
I do know there's some things that have come out about Duck Hunt in the past few years that some people knew, some people didn't. Specifically about the laughing dog and control of the laughing dog, and being able to control the ducks that flew. So I feel like we knew this.
We did. We would play the second.
Because I remember doing that. So when that came out, I was like, did we just figure that out, or did we read it? Because it was in the book. You just had to read the book.
But who read the books? As an adult, I missed them, but as a kid, I never read them.
I would say we probably figured it out because someone was doing something, and one of us probably had the other controller hit it and been like, "Hey, wait."
I also remember Dad saying, not so close to the TV.
Yeah. Back away.
This is exactly where the rumor of if you sit too close to the TV, it'll ruin your eyes started. I've had an optometrist tell me that that's not true. So I don't care. I'm this close to the monitor. So
I was going to say,
right.
Close to the monitor all the time now.
Yeah. So just the history of these, we played so much. Michael, you played more Atari than obviously John and I did. What was the big thing about this one besides the fact that it was just better?
Just the graphics. I grew up mostly with the Atari games, and they were just kind of flat, pixelated, figures running around. One of my favorite games on Atari is
I knew we were going to get here.
Is an adventure.
I thought you were going to talk about E.T.
Well, E.T. as well, but adventure is similar to it's similar to Legend of Zelda. You got your guy, and you go to these castles. You got to defeat a dragon, and then you get a chalice or whatever, and you got to go to the next one. And it's just you're just this one color figure that kind of pixelated, square looking figure that kind of moves across the screen. And it's not even on the Nintendo with the graphics, it's 2D, but it still looks. You can see the different, the depth between the figures and stuff. Where Atari was all one color. Had two or three different colors on the screen. And that was it.
Yeah. All right, John. What's the one thing that you remember about this that just blows your mind? That's what that was. In case you're wondering.
Yeah, I got that.
Now I got it.
No. One thing about this one, I don't remember much about Atari at all, except for the joystick. But this one would be sitting up late at night playing, and Mom telling me to go to bed or something, and then I'd sneak back into the living room and play some more.
That happened a lot.
Yeah.
Turn the TV all the way down, and back when the remote controls, you actually use the knob. Yeah.
That Christmas we got Mario 3. We all went in there and had the game half played before we even woke up Mom and Dad saying, "Hey, it's Christmas morning. Can we go play it?"
I was about to tell that story.
Or they even knew we were in there. So, yeah.
Well, we did that all the time. We'd wake up, no matter what Christmas it was, we'd wake up, we'd go play with the toys.
So wait.
And then our goal was to put them identical.
Yeah, wait, you got to tell this right, because you have to explain that we had a rule in our house that if the sun was not up, the parents were not up. Yeah. So therefore, we weren't allowed to wake them until the sun came up.
Ooh, I gotta use that rule.
I still do this. It's great. I love it.
No.
It's amazing. So we would sneak in the mornings, Christmas morning, and open presents, look at stuff. Sorry, Mom and Dad. I know you've probably figured this out a long time ago.
I was gonna say they know,
but I think we've talked about it at Christmases recently. Yeah. So we would try to wrap it all back up. We opened Mario 3 and played it for an hour at least before we went and woke our parents up. So, yeah.
Well, most of our toys, they were set up. I had my toys in one section, John had his in the middle, and Andrew had his on the other side. So we all three had three different sections, and half the toys were wrapped and half weren't. So we actually played with the stuff that weren't. And then we put it all set up right back the way we had it, the way we found it.
That was
and
the
then
goal.
We went and laid back in bed until the sun came up, and then we went and woke Mom and Dad up, and then we would go back.
And this is before, right? This is before digital cameras, so you had you couldn't take a picture of it. You had to actually remember. I'm impressed.
That's all right there. So John, you were telling a story, weren't you?
Yeah, I think we've already got this one.
Okay.
Well, he was just saying,
all
Christmas,
three of us told a part of that.
which is a great story.
I gotta say, so the one thing about these games, and the one game that really changed a lot, that I think pushes the envelope even past what Nintendo was doing at that point, was the TMNT, the arcade game. Mm-hmm. So when they release this, you've got this chance to get a whole group of people like me. I was a huge Turtle head, wanted to play it, had a lot of fun, and then all of a sudden there was a game that you could play in an arcade that you could play at home and pick your character.
Right.
I no longer was stuck to being whoever you guys didn't want to be. Like I had a 1 in 4 chance, and I played Donatello. I love Donatello. His bow staff reach was great.
Makes sense.
And so that's how I grew up. Matter of fact, me and Joey from the Dorksmen have talked about this many times. If we got a chance to play that now, he would let me play Donatello, and he would play as Leo, and we'd be good.
Yeah,
be good. So that just the games, all the games had something that challenges and pushes the envelope more and more and more until it was too much for the 8-bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's when we got 16-bit Super Nintendo. And that's a whole nother podcast. So we'll talk about that at some other point. So what do we need to add? Because we need to do our rankings, because we have a really fun game that I'm excited about playing. So anything anybody wants to add before we do our rankings?
Real quick, just because we're going down memory lane, it wasn't perfect. We talked all this praise, but I mean, I still laugh today about blowing into the cartridges.
Yes.
Even though it's been told over time that didn't work, I'm going to go ahead and say, and I'm going to swear, I hope that's okay, bullshit. Because
actually more degrading to the games than
it makes sense, but the thing is, it works. Like, we all did it, we all figured it out on our own, and it freaking appeared to have worked. So I don't know.
There was 2 things there. 3 things actually. So you blow into the cartridge, you blow into the system. You got to get all the dust off of it. And then the trick of pushing it most of the way in, and then because they had the little it wasn't completely square. It had that little rounded, or not rounded, but it was like beveled a little bit. Yeah. And you just snap it in. Then your game would play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what? If I wasn't supposed to do that, Nintendo, why'd you make it work?
Right. But that's the thing. I figured it out too. It's not like I knew you back then. I didn't get to call you and tell you. Everyone figured it out on their own. So
exactly. A couple things we haven't talked about. Obviously, we all love Zelda, and the gold cartridge that was Zelda, which was more common than the gray cartridge. Which now I only know that now because I was excited about having the gold, and then I found out everybody had the gold one. Then also the Game Genie.
Yeah, I was about to mention the Game Genie.
Yeah, the Game Genie. So
I never had one, and so I was always jealous. But oh my god,
I prefer to play the games without the Game Genie.
Yeah,
and try to beat it, and then go in and play it with Game Genie and have fun with it.
Oh, there you go.
Because then you've already beat it. Whatever, it's all good. So
and then go in as invincible and really tear it up.
Oh yeah, and be
makes
like,
sense.
Oh, I could have beat this in 10 seconds. Oh yeah, that's how it works. All right, here we go. We're gonna do our rankings. We gotta rank this.
I've not seen your rankings for a while, so this is interesting to see.
They're pretty crazy, and we actually need to pull these down because we'll be starting our new one. All of the rankings that are here are part of our contest that's going to be happening in the next couple of weeks. We're trying to get the last few things solved before we do this. But
nice.
So, Michael, should Nintendo just be number 1 for all of us because we're going to start fresh?
If we're starting fresh now, but I don't know when. I didn't know when you were going to start fresh. So
I mean, once we do I feel like we need to, right?
We can, yeah.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do.
All these games are set
all these lines are set up for the thing. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to rank in here, and then if for some reason we decide that we are going to start fresh, it'll be number 1 for all of us. Yeah. So rank in here, and then I got it up here. So let's do that. All right. So Michael.
To me, with what we got listed right here, it slots in at number 4 for me.
Number 4, okay.
Micro Machines and Voltron, right in between there.
Wow. Micro Machines makes it ahead.
Yeah.
And
did you ever play the Micro Machines Nintendo game?
No, I never did play that one.
I was actually fun. I remember playing that one. All right, fair enough.
Sorry, did you write that down, John?
Wow. I'm surprised it was that low for Michael, but I mean, we've talked. I'm not really big into the toys. I think this was probably one of the bigger things that I played with as a kid and everything, more important than any toy. So yeah, it's number one for me.
Number one. I knew that was coming.
John likes the games aspect. He's got
he
Nintendo,
does.
and then he's got board games as number
Board
two.
games
Now.
right there.
Yeah,
and, Nerf,
I mean,
and look at Nerf being number 3, Michael.
Yeah,
I mean, those are all like.
I like John's idea here. I'm okay with it.
So I do have to say, this is hard for me because I love the Nintendo. I also love Legos and I love Turtles. So this is number 3 for me.
Okay.
Had I not had the Legos and the Turtles, my Nintendo may have been different. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's number 3 for me. So Clint, where do you rank this for you?
So for me, it's just number 1, obviously. And I'm looking through your lists here, and I listened to some of these, and I'm not gonna lie, I have been horrible at listening to podcasts, so don't take it personal. But there's some stellar stuff on here.
It's all right. I'm 4 weeks behind on the Dorksmen. So
well, I'm more than that on everybody's podcast, so I apologize. But I'm glad you guys are still cranking out awesome content. But it's number 1 for me, even though I loved Motu, I loved Turtles, I loved Micro Machines, I loved all that stuff. So it makes me smile every time I look at those lists. But Nintendo is hands down for me.
And if you're curious, go check out toyrewindpodcast.com and look at our toy rankings. You can see where we've ranked these. All of the episodes that we've had, they're all there. So be sure you do that. All right, so there's our rankings. We got a 4, a 1, a 3, and a 1, which honestly does not. Those I knew that was going to be high. So that's where that's where we're at on that. I believe. Let me take a stab at my notes here. Yeah, we're ready for a game.
All right, we'll see how this goes.
I really hope you guys are ready for the game, because this is Toy Truths, but it's I actually need to go and turn off this brand real quick because
leave it on. It's fine. We know it's number 16 there. You're fine.
No, it interferes. It's fine. It's
okay. All right.
So the way that this is going to work, you guys are gonna you got to go over to private chat so you can buzz in. We have 32 rounds. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a game name. And then I'm going to tell you who the developer is. I'm going to tell you the month it was released and the year it was released. One of those will be false. And as soon as you can guess what it is, all you have to do is buzz in the chat over here with something. I don't care what it is. I'll clear it out of every time. And then whoever answers the question correctly will get a point.
Okay.
If you answer it wrong, I'll tell you if you answer it wrong, and then you have there's one chance to steal. So first time, if you answer it on the first, 2 points. If you answer it on the steal, you get 1 point.
Okay. So you do not lose points if you get it wrong?
No, I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be
Just
nice.
want to make sure I understand the rules.
He hasn't got that far. I think that's the next round of games.
I don't like to take points out. It's not as much fun.
He doesn't like to throw
it's also
people
more
into
math.
negative eight.
Yeah, it's more
Negative
math.
Nate.
So these are random 32 games that I pulled out of the 706 that we have. We're going to let Clint go first because he's our guest. So Clint, give us a number.
Let's start in the upper left-hand corner there. Let's go number 1.
Go number 1. All right. River City Ransom. It looks like something got mixed up here. So the release or the developer is Technos Japan. So just ignore how this one might have gotten put in. Was Technos Japan. The release month was March and the year was 1990. One of those is false. Can you tell me which one?
I'm going to take a guess at it.
All right.
I think I was the first one to ring in there. Tell me otherwise.
Yes, you were.
I'm going to say the year is wrong.
The year is not wrong. It was released in 1990. John, can you give me a year? Can you give me what it might have been?
Okay, so I was going to say the same thing, but I'm going to say the developer.
The developer, no, it was developed by Technos Japan, and it was released in January of 1990. So,
gosh, I didn't think it was that late. I thought it was earlier. All right.
Yeah, no.
I think your things got put on backwards, by the way.
Yeah, it's probably just on that one. Don't worry.
Okay, cool.
Most of them are checked. So
since it sounds like I'm still in control,
you're still in control,
right? Even though I should win. I don't know. 32.
32. All right.
Let's go to the other end.
Metroid. Ooh. So Metroid was developed by Nintendo and released in August of 1986. Which one of these is incorrect? Clint.
So the developer. So whoever gets, if I get this wrong, the other person's going to get it right. So awesome. The
Not
developer,
necessarily.
right? The developer's Nintendo. I'm gonna go with the year.
So you think it was not developed in 1986?
I think it was a year later.
And you are correct. It was developed in 1980, or it was released in 1987.
Woo! I thought that was just, and I got to admit, the only reason I even thought that, because the man on top with his years made me think
There
that
you
game
go.
had to come out a little later. So
There you go. So here's
thank
the
you
thing.
for the assist, Michael.
I did give you guys a little bit of heads up to know what you guys needed to look at with this, but this is not as easy as it looks, is it?
No, not at all. It's interesting though.
All right, give me another number.
All right. Well, since the bottom seems to work better this time, let's go 31.
31. All right. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. By the way, this was a great game. Going through the tunnels, great game. Developed by Thinking Rabbit and released in December of 1988. What's incorrect? John.
The release month.
The release month. You think it was released and you don't think it was released in December.
No.
That's incorrect. Michael, you buzzed in second.
Temple of Doom, December 88. I'm going to say it's developers wrong.
And you are correct. It was developed by Tengen.
Wow.
It was developed by Tengen. That's 1 point for Michael. And you control the board, Michael.
Let's do 18.
18. Michael's lucky number. Paperboy, another great game.
I like that.
Developed by East Ridge Technology and released in December of 1992. And Clint,
I'm going to go with the developers wrong.
you think it's a developer? Nope, it was developed by East Ridge Technology. And Michael,
I think it came out sooner than 92. I'm
So
going
you
to
think
say
it's
it's
the year.
the release year. It's wrong, yeah.
and you're correct. It was released in
Nice.
1988. All right, so that's another point for Michael. So right now it's Clint 2, Michael 2, John goose egg. Michael, you have control.
Let's do number 3.
Number 3, another good number for Michael. Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Clint, you should know this one.
Yeah.
This was developed by Electronic Arts, October of 1987. Clint's already buzzed in.
It is not in the game. It is not EA.
It is not EA. You're right. It is developed by Nintendo. Of course, it's developed by Nintendo. That's a whopping 2 points for Clint.
Even though I did question the year when I saw that, I'm like, that came out really early.
It did.
And it was Mike Tyson's, not just the Punch Out version. So.
Right. No. I checked that. I double checked on that.
I believe you completely.
Because I actually had the other one in here, and I was like, oh no, that's not the one I meant to put in here.
Right.
So I had to check on. All right. You have control of the board, Clint.
Let's go number 6.
Number 6, sitting here, number 6 with Lemmings, developed by Ocean Software in November of and released in November of 1990. And Michael,
Lemmings. Let's go with year again. I think year's
the
wrong.
year, you are correct. It was released in 1992.
Are you sure that's a Nintendo game?
It is.
It was on the NES. I remember it for the Super Nintendo, but never for the NES.
Yeah, it came out originally for the NES.
It makes sense, but all right. Wow.
Yeah, there was some in the 90s. You know, I think they made games all the way up to 95 for the.
Yeah,
for the
I think
NES.
you might even be later than that. You're right,
So,
though.
yeah, they did both of them together on both platforms.
Michael, you have control of the board.
Well done, Michael.
Let's do 25.
Number 25, we've got WWF WrestleMania. Ed would be happy about this. Developed by Namco and released in January of 1989. John.
89. I'm going to say developer.
Developer, you are correct. It was developed by Rare.
Well done.
That's a good 2 points for John. Just take a chance at it, John. See, that's all you got to do.
I like it.
And you have
I didn't
control.
mean to hit my button.
It's fine. You got 2 points. You got control of the board, too.
Let's go 24.
24, John's lucky number. Here we go. Mega Man. Developed by Capcom and released in December of 1990. And Clint.
That year is wrong.
That year is wrong. It was developed in it was released in 1987. That's Clint at 6 points, Michael at 4 points, and John at 2 points. I mean, this is really still anybody's game here.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You have control of the board.
Let's go number 12, please.
Number 12, we've got Super Mario Brothers. This is the original, developed by Nintendo and released in 1984, in October of 1984. John.
Month.
No, it is not. It was released in October.
All right.
Clint.
That's got to be here.
That's kind of a gimme. It was released in 1985.
Right.
That was kind of a gimme once he got that right.
Yeah, once he got that. But it was a good guess because I didn't know, especially since
84,
like you mentioned.
85, I was like,
Right.
I did try to make a couple of these easier. So,
and we knew this one was out before the NES, which was interesting.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay. All right. You have control of the board, Clint.
I still control. Let's go 4.
Number 4, we have Totally Rad, another amazing game that I hope all of you liked. Developed by, is it AICOM?
Sure.
And I think it's AICOM and released in March of 1985. Clint?
It came out much later than that.
So you're talking about the year?
Yes.
All right. So yes, you are right. It was released in 1991.
And the only reason I know that is the graphics are so much better. It's amazing how the same system has better graphics as time went on. But
and it was still only 8-bit. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right. Still control of the board.
Let's go 21.
Number 21. This is one of my favorites, DuckTales. Developed by Capcom, released in October of 1989. Did I clear that? I think I cleared it. Clint?
You did. Yep, you did. It's the year. I believe it came out later than 89.
Not correct. It was
wow. All right.
1989. So, Michael, can you steal?
Month.
Hey, you're right. It was released in September. You are right.
Wow. I thought it was so much later because it was so good. And it's funny you guys keep talking about DuckTales. It was on my top 10, no question. But it was such a good Nintendo game that they remastered it and re-released it like 5 years ago.
Yeah. So the story is there. The story is solid.
Well, and all those like Disney afternoon cartoon games were actually pretty fun. Like I remember Darkwing Duck, Rescue Rangers were fun games.
Tailspin game.
Yeah, Tailspin.
Yeah.
So I mean, Disney did it right.
All right, Michael, you have control.
Good job, Michael.
28.
28. There's the 28. I couldn't find it. Skate or Die, another great game developed by Capcom and released in December of 1988. Clint.
I'm going with the developer. I don't think that's right.
Let me look. You are correct. It is developed by Konami.
I knew it couldn't be. Remember, we didn't even mention the Konami code, by the way.
We didn't. That's a little sad. We got a whole podcast about the Konami code.
That's right.
All right. Control the board is yours.
Let's go 8.
Number 8.
For 8-bit.
Look at this. Donkey Kong. The original Donkey Kong. Developed by Nintendo and released June of 1984. Michael.
Donkey Kong. 19... For the Nintendo, I want to say the year's wrong.
The year is wrong. It was released in 1986.
Well done.
All right.
I was shaky on that one. Absolutely.
It was done for the arcade was sooner, and then also for the Famicom over in Japan, but
right.
NES, it was 84.
Right.
By the way, anybody appreciate Mario keeps running across the screen?
I love that. I'm sorry. I didn't mention it earlier. I meant to. I love it.
All right, Michael, you have control of the board.
All right, let's do 16.
Number 16, Adventure Island 3, developed by Now Production and released in September of 1985. Can you tell me, Clint, what's wrong?
The year. It came out much later than that.
What was that, number 16? I got to look at it. You are correct. It was released in 1992. Wow. That's another good 2 points for Clint.
But that is a fun game as well. All of the Adventure Islands were a lot of fun.
They were.
The eggplant that followed you around.
Everything. And you have control of the board.
I got to admit, everybody who made games in the 80s had to be high on cocaine because there were some things out there. You're like, what did you come up with? Don't get me wrong. I love it. But what were you on? Anyway.
All right. Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug. That's right. Little callback to Dorksmen there. Let's go. Let's close out that column and go number 20, please.
Number 20, we have Tetris, developed by Konami and released in November of 1989. Clint.
That's got to be developer.
That was number 20. That is developer because it was developed by Nintendo.
Right. Almost up there, the second one, but
you have control of the board.
Oh, let's go number 23.
Number 23. Before I pull it up, got to clear. Number 23. Wayne Gretzky Hockey.
Oh, Michael's in.
Before you say what it is, it developed by Bethesda Software, released in January of 1993. What's wrong?
Oh, I thought he had a confident answer.
No, he's just trying to buzz in.
Gretzky. Let's do a developer.
Nope, it is not developer. John, here's your chance to steal and get a point.
Year.
It was the year. It was released in 1988.
Really? Like I actually thought it was going to be like 90. I knew it was. Wow.
Yeah. It was actually in this earlier part of his career. Yeah, he got in there and got good. So
yeah, he did.
Here we go, John. You have control of the board.
Oh wow. I'm not used to that. Let's go 17.
Number 17. I was wondering when that was going to get picked. Castlevania, developed by Konami and released in June of 1987. Michael.
That's about right on year. I have no idea about it. Let's do month. We'll just guess month.
You are correct, and correct. You are correct. It was released in May and not June.
Way to be correct.
Right.
Good job. I forgot it was a Konami game.
You got lucky on that one. So control of the board is yours, Michael.
Let's do lucky number 13.
Lucky number
13. I like it.
That's my lucky number. And Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest, developed by Ocean Software, released in December of 1988. John.
It's developer.
I was going to say, you have to get this right after the last one.
Going back to back on this, it's kind of like, whoa.
I don't even know
how
I don't even know how you pulled that off to get those back to back.
That's awesome.
All right, that is just a quick update on points. Clint has 15, Michael has 9, and John has 5. So
Jesus,
still I think this is still a close game. So
yes, I agree.
John, you have control of the board.
19.
Number 19. Here we go. Number 19. Dr. Mario, developed by Nintendo, released in January of 1990. And Michael.
Let's go with month again.
You're right. It was released in October.
Right.
Well done.
Just getting ready for Christmas break there for Dr. Mario. And you have control of the board.
Number 2.
Number 2. Scroll up. Oh, this is a good one. Ninja Gaiden. Developed by Tecmo, released in March of 1983. Clint.
That year is way wrong.
You're right. It was released in 1989.
I mean, I don't know what to say about it. Was it originally on the Atari or what?
I was hoping somebody would totally miss that, and
No, but I knew it was Tecmo, which is very interesting.
That's right.
Anyway,
that's right. All right, you have control.
Let's close out that line. 22, please.
Number 22, Super Mario Brothers 2, developed by Nintendo, released in July of 1988. And Clint,
going with the month on this one.
22. You are correct. It was released in October. Look at that. I got to start a whole new line of your points.
And the reason I know that is because I wanted it for Christmas and didn't get it. But they got it a little later. But I remember really wanting it for Christmas and not getting it because my Santa couldn't make it fast enough and I couldn't get one or whatever the lie was at the time. But I really appreciated my parents still giving me an IOU basically. So it worked out great. All right.
Here's where we're at. Clint has 19 points. Michael has 11 points and John has 5 points. John, don't feel bad. There's still 22 points left on this board.
Nice.
So
don't let up is what you're saying.
Don't let up. Keep going. Don't worry.
All right.
Clint, you have control.
Stay strong. All right. Let's go number 9, please.
Number 9, we have the great Zelda 2, The Adventure of a Link, developed by Nintendo, released in August of 1988. Michael.
Let's do month again. That's been lucky for me here lately.
It has been lucky for you, and it's lucky again. It's
Wow.
released in December.
Well done. I did not
right.
know.
This is
I thought it
probably
might
why
be
they
a little
didn't
early.
do so well.
Yeah,
You
the
can't
88
release
sounds about
something-
right for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, especially late 88. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have control of the board. And I want you guys to kind of envision the games that have not been mentioned yet. So,
Well, let's see. We've had 20 and there's only 706.
Michael,
Let's do 11.
number 11, Contra, developed by Konami and released in February of 1989. Clint,
89 seems too late. I'm going to go year.
89 is too late. It was released in 88.
Barely too late.
Barely too late. Yeah.
Barely too
But
late.
either way.
Just like your buzz-in was, John. Just slightly too late. Clint,
You guys can't see the buzzing in, but it's getting competitive over
hey,
here.
I do have to say before we move on, John, this has nothing to do with distance because Clint is a lot further away than you are.
Right. Now, some of these I've been like, I have no clue. But
If there were negative points in this game, it'd be a
Ignore
really
that
good.
one.
Yeah. Anyway.
ignore that one, Andrew.
Let's go number. I don't know. Number 27.
Number 27, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, developed by Nintendo and released in June of 1989. John,
Year.
it is not the year.
Oh.
Michael,
Let's do developer.
it is developed by
All right.
Konami.
You're on the fence. Like, go month again. It's working out for you. Keep going.
All right, give me another one, Michael. Give me a number.
Good job,
29.
Number 29, we have the Battle of Olympus. By the way, shout out to Damien for adding this to my list. Clint, you have the first one, but first, developed by Infinity and released in December of 1986.
I think I'm going to guess this one wrong. I'm already calling it. I'm going year.
It was it was released in 1989. So you got that year correct.
Nice.
Don't second guess your gut.
All right, fair enough. You win. Let's go number 5.
Number 5, I was about to wonder when that was going to get. Golf, developed by Nintendo, released in
Damn, you guys are fast.
October of 1987. Michael.
Uh,
Go developer.
I'm gonna go year.
Developer. You're right. It's the year it was released in 1985.
Wow.
Remember, this was part of the original pack.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, golf was the original 85 to 16.
It's actually
Part of
still
their-
fun too, surprisingly. Like, it's held the test of time.
And the graphics hold up.
They actually did for a golf game. Absolutely. We don't need Tiger Woods' face. We can just play with Mario the whole time. I'm good with that.
There you go.
Exactly.
That
All right, Michael. You're catching up with Clint.
I know. I don't like it.
Dude, number 7 up there.
There you
Number
go.
7. Here we go. Number 7, Friday the 13th, developed by Atlas, released in February of 1991. Clint,
Oh, year.
you're going with the year. What was that? Number 7. Sorry, You're right. It was released in 1989.
Oh, man.
Here's something interesting to me about this.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't they release this in October?
I was thinking the same thing, and I was like, "That's got to be like a misdirection."
I was really hoping that somebody would guess month on that or whatever. So
It's a great question, but it's like, and if you guys, I'm sure we've talked about this on the Four Dorksmen. Why don't they release scary movies in October? Why the hell did Invisible Man come out in March, or whatever the case is? But,
Yeah.
it's just stupid. So all right.
I mean, I guess they all came out at the same time. You couldn't enjoy them anyway.
You have control.
Let's go number 15, please.
Number 15, The Legend of Zelda, the original, developed
Damn,
by
you guys are
Nintendo and released in December of 1987. John?
Shoot. Sorry, shoot. I'm gonna go with month.
A month. It was released in August.
Yeah.
Smart. Good job.
Good
I
job.
was like
on that
87 actually sounded right for that one, but I just buzzed in.
I was thinking year because I was thinking it was going to be December 86 because, like you said, it was close. But
one.
Wow.
I'm
Smart.
really
Good job.
second guessing the negative points on this one, to be honest. To tell you the truth.
you live and learn. We're having fun. Who cares?
I just don't like to delete things or erase things. So, all right, John, give me a number 10, 14, 26, or 30.
I like they're all even.
Did you say 30, John? 30? All right. Duck Hunt, developed by Acclaim Entertainment, released in October 1985. John?
They're on it.
Developer?
You're right. It was developed by Nintendo. So that is another 2 points for John. Look at you catching up, John. Give me another number.
26.
Number 26. Excitebike, developed by Electronic Arts, released in October of 1985. Michael?
Developer.
You can't laugh during the question. Come on now. I know he got it either way, but it's still.
I knew he had already buzzed in because it's all over here.
Before he clicked it, he buzzed it.
You're good. It's just funny.
All right, Michael, 10 or 14?
Let's do 14.
14. Super Mario Brothers 3. John's already buzzed in. Developed by Nintendo, released in February of 1987. John?
Shoot. Year.
There you
You're
go.
right. It is the year. It was released in 1990.
That would have been 90, yeah.
Look at you catching up.
Remember the wizard?
All right. And you have control of the board, but
there's only one left.
There's only one
33.
left, so we're going to go with
number
10. Superman, developed by Nintendo, released December of 1988. Clint.
It's not Nintendo.
It's not Nintendo. It was developed by Kemco. And John, Michael.
Clint won.
At least I hope so.
Yeah.
I think Clint won.
Coming in third place, we have John with 11 points. Solid showing, John.
That was like all the second half of the game, too. So you tore it up.
Yeah.
You made a run there for a few minutes there.
Coming in second place was Michael with 18 points.
18.
And then coming in first place, how the hell do you join our podcast and still win the games? 27 points. I had to count.
27? Oh, okay. Steal. I was like, how to get an odd number? But that's
27 points. So,
shoulda.
Gosh, he wins everything. Dang it.
That was fun. That was a cool game. I'm glad you didn't stop at 10 points like you said originally.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, we did talk about that. Time's going fine. It's looking good. So there we go. That was our fun game. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed that board because that was fun to build.
Well, you'll have to do it more often because that is awesome.
I've gotten a little better about doing some of those. We have a board for our normal ones, but I was trying to do graphics, 8-bit. Having fun with it.
You did great. It looked great. It was cool.
Mario running across.
Yeah.
Joey, I think me and you, I know you're listening to this, Joey. So me and you need to get together and work out some stuff. So we have some fun things to do. So, all right. With that, I got to get back to my notes so I know what we need to do. Clint, it has been great having you on.
Oh, it's on the side of the table, my friend.
Yes.
I know we do joke around about you not coming on and trying to keep you off, but it's all in jokes. And I love the fact that we have a fun rivalry with the Dorksmen. But do your shout outs. Where can people find you?
Well, first of all, I'm trying to remember before I do that. You guys challenged us once, and I'm trying to remember what you exactly challenged us to. It was early when you guys first got your podcast, and damn it, it's escaping me now. And I told the guys, and I still want to do that challenge. So it hasn't gone completely away. So if you think of it, let us know.
Here's what I think we need to do. I think Joey needs to come up with a game, and I hate to eliminate Joey out of it, but he's so good at making up games.
I agree.
Needs to do a game and do Family Feud type thing with the other three Dorksmen and then us three and have some fun with that.
Let's talk after this podcast. Anyway, for me, at Collector Clint, Twitter and Instagram. I have also Clint Crockett's my full name. You can find me there, but those accounts aren't nearly as interesting for the fun stuff we're talking about. A lot of it's political, and if you don't want to interact with me on that, I am not upset about that at all. Anyway, I am part of the Four Dorksmen Podcast. We actually are recording episode 90 this Sunday, so we have really cranked through it. Please give us a follow at _Dorksmen and wherever you listen to podcasts. And that is for Twitter and Instagram. We have a Facebook page, but nobody updates it, so don't even worry about that. As for the another note with the Dorksmen is we recently joined the Cross the Streams Network media, which has been a lot of fun to do with 3 Beers and a Mic, the Movie Gap podcast, a couple others. I know, this is a start. This isn't an end point by any stretch, so don't be surprised if Toy Rewind gets invited sooner than later. Regardless, though, really give all those guys a listen. It's a great resource to go and see where our podcasts are, see what other podcasts are out there. You can even email us.
Clint, We lost your audio. Oh, there you go. You're back.
There you are.
I'm back.
You're right.
Well, anyway, I don't know where I left off. I apologize. But I'll go on and just say Cross Streams Media, make sure you check it out. Lots of good stuff. You can leave us a voicemail. So if anybody wants to leave us a voicemail, I'll be the first one to do it. Check out the website. I hope you guys. Do I sound deep right now?
You sound really deep.
This has happened before. Give me 1 second.
Oh, that is the best thing ever.
That's like, whoa.
Okay, well.
Okay.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, there you go. You sound normally good.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, cool. Let me make sure I can hear you. Do I still sound low?
No, you're
okay.
I'm good.
Either way, I was going to say, how do you like me now, baby? But I didn't get to that.
You got me tearing up over here.
So I apologize. That's happened times before. I'm glad we could do it here, and I'll get a laugh out of it because I'm going to go back and love listening to that. Anyway, Cross Streams Media voicemail, check that all out. And I'm also part of the Geek Together podcast, like these guys who do their show on Mondays, which is awesome. Love to have you guys on the channel. I do mine on Saturday with the actual original group. We talk designer toys and have a good time. So at geek_together on Twitter, Geek Together Pod on Instagram. So follow me, interact with me, laugh with me, make fun of me, whatever the case. I stream on Twitch with the Dorksmen on Tuesday nights playing Nintendo games for the Switch. I actually went back and played some old school games before. Might have to do more of that after this discussion. Friday night we do Jackbox games, just a game night, just a reason for people to hang out and have a good time and blow off some steam on a Friday night since we're still not fully back from the pandemic, if you will. Mm-hmm. So come join us for any of that. We'd love to have you. And I think that's all the plugs I have.
Except for your hair plugs, right?
But that's obvious.
Actually, I say hair plugs, but I was going to actually mention your mustache. It has its own Twitter account. So
it does have my own Twitter account. Yes.
Check it out.
It's a little dormant right now, but come November, it'll be a little more active.
It's not November.
Right.
So be sure you're following him there. John, where can people find us?
Check us out. Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Toy Rewind Pod, Facebook, YouTube, Toy Rewind Podcast, our website, toyrewindpodcast.com. Email us, toyrewindpodcast@gmail.com, and check out our bingo if you haven't already checked it out for this deal. Not only us, but multiple other podcasts that Andrew does the podcast bingo cards for.
I do want to point out
podcastbingo.com/Toy Rewind.
There's a chance you could actually play the Dorksmen bingo during this one also.
There actually is a little bit. You're right.
You could probably do both at the same time.
But huge shout out. We love that bingo card, and and shout out to you for keeping it up to date. It's been so much fun to go back and review and hang out. And I mean, we did our 50th. We did a giveaway with the 50th episode with it because we love it so much, and people came up with some good stuff. So
it's a lot of fun to do. I like it giving me something. Listen, I hear new ones. We just updated. So,
great. Yeah, and I know you've been doing that for a while too. You've been doing it for the Funko Funcast, which is awesome.
That's where it all started. It all started with the Funko Funcast. So
very cool that you do that.
Sully, so, all right. So I know you did some. We're going to run through these other. This is all the Nerds Unite kind of network. And obviously, there's a few in here that are on Cross the Streams, but you're still part of the Nerds Unite. It's all.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
You've got Geek Together. Be sure you check them out. Nerds are the Average Nerd Podcast. The Four Dorksmen. Again, check them out. They're great. 3 Beers and a Mic. The STS guys. The Nerdy Curious. Nerd Portraits. Movie Retakes. Totally Rad Movie Podcast, which is not dead. They've done a couple. It's great. Secondary Heroes. And then when you're really looking for that positivity, be sure you check out Sully over on twitch.tv/CS Sully, not CSS Sully. I was listening to some podcasts today. Yeah. There's not 3 S's. It's only 2.
No, but it's fun to say.
It is. This comes from a developer who I like to write CSS code all the time, which is cascading style sheets. So that's what I see when I see his name. I see
that's
CSS.
Funny.
So I thought that was funny. So check all of them out. Anywhere you get podcasts, anywhere you find something, we all connect each other. We're all just part of this big Nerd Unite network. And it's been great. It's what's got us through our pandemic. So,
amen.
By the way, my arm hurts. I got my shot today, and my arm hurts.
Well, good for you though.
So,
which one did you get?
The number 1 Pfizer. So,
okay,
it's just sore where she hit it. So.
I hope that's all that you get.
I do too. I hope I don't get knocked out. I don't need to do that. So the way, Clint, you listen to these, the way we sign out is I usually sign out for all of us, but I want to give you a chance to sign out. And then somebody at some point needs to say the Konami code. So I don't know how that needs to work.
Go ahead, Michael.
real quick, I just want to do a plug for. I will be this Sunday. I will be at the Dusty Attic Toy Show up in Rowlett, Texas. I will be there. We're there 9 to 2. I'll probably be there about 8 o'clock to set up. So, but yeah, it's a toy show. I'll do a quick little live feed before the show opens up and kind of give an idea of what all's there. So just something
Very
cool to do. And it's the first time to actually get out since February was the last time I was at a toy show.
So be sure you check out. That's on Instagram. He's going live on Instagram. So follow our Instagram account.
So you're going live, between 8 and 9. That is Central Time, right?
Yeah, Central Time.
Yeah, Central Time. So be sure you check that out.
I forget there's other time zones other than Central.
Understood. No, I get it. But as somebody who's in a different one, I had to make sure to ask. Okay.
Yeah. So
awesome.
Who knows what the Konami code is off the top of your head?
Well, as somebody who's seen Wreck-It Ralph recently, it is up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, select, start. If you're doing 2 players.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was looking it up because I couldn't remember if it was select start or if it was just start. So there you go. There's the Konami code. I feel like this is a complete podcast about Nintendo because it got in there. So I'll let you sign out and then I'll sign it out for the rest of us real quick.
I said the wrong town. It's Rowlett Road in Garland, Texas. Sorry.
In Garland, Texas.
It's in Garland, Texas.
Texas is a big state.
The dad's show. Yeah. It's up in the DFW area. So yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, thank you guys for having me. It has been an absolute pleasure. And for everybody listening, word homies.
And on behalf of the Brothers Newland here at the Toy Rewind Podcast, play on.
You've been listening to the Toy Rewind Podcast. Follow and join in the conversations at toyrewindpodcast.com.